Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 9 p.m. English News edition. Here are the top stories of tonight. President Gele meets Mr. Zheng Jinping, chairman of the Shanghai Municipal Committee. The Prime Minister receives a courtesy visit from the new FAO representative in Djibouti. And for the international news, the aim is to increase the volume of trade to $15 billion between Egypt and Turkey. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, met with the chairman of the Shanghai Municipal Committee and member of the Chinese President's Political Bureau, Mr. Zheng Jinping. This meeting between the President of the Republic and Mr. Jinping served from the outset as a framework to work a general inventory and investment opportunity in our country in the field of cooperation and exchange between the Republic of Djibouti and Shanghai. This event was an opportunity to put in place integrated arrangements for Djibouti where investment potential is combined with the logistical services of highly modern infrastructure to form successful economic partnership with the city of Shanghai. The talks between the head of state and Mr. Jinping and senior Shanghai officials focused on the general strategic orientation of the China-Djibouti Economic Forum with a view to further increasing the level of trade and commercial complementarity and investment attractiveness between our country and the city of Shanghai. It is important to underline that the meeting of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, with the highest personality of Shanghai coincides with the 90th edition of China-Africa Cooperation Forum, which will be held tomorrow, Thursday, in Beijing. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, held a working meeting this morning on the sidelines of the China-Djibouti Economic Forum with the President of the Chinese Infrastructure Technology and Equipment Company, Huawei. The discussion focused on ways and means of further strengthening the relationship and partnership between Huawei and Djibouti in terms of technology, innovation in information and communication technology. Discussion focused in particular on ways of maximizing the return of major development projects involving technological advances. During the meeting, the President of the Republic highlighted the key assets of Djibouti's development, placing particular emphasis on our country's investment opportunities with a view to connecting the business community and foreign companies to the exceptional condition for making profits from investments that Djibouti offers. Both parties agreed to lay a solid foundation for a lasting strategic partnership in IT and technological innovation between Huawei and Djibouti. The Djibouti-China Economic Forum was held in Shanghai under the high patronage of the President of the Republic. This forum brought together over 350 Chinese operators and leading entrepreneurs. This event was an opportunity to assess the achievement of a major plan in focus on our country's provision as a commercial investment place in Djibouti. Organized by the Ports and Free Zone Authority, the forum was a rich and fruitful opportunity for Chinese and Djiboutian businesses leaders to forge links and exchange ideas, as well as to review the key assets of Djibouti's development, with particular emphasis on investment opportunities in Djibouti. Known as the business center of the world, Shanghai is China's leading economic capital and one of the world's leading business hubs. The forum took place this morning on the sidelines of the 90th China-Africa Economic Cooperation, which will be open in Beijing. The Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to the People's Republic of China, His Excellency Ambassador Abdullahi Miguel, at the Djibouti-China Economic Forum indicated that this event was an opportunity to put in place integrated arrangement for Djibouti where investment potential is combined with the logistics services of a highly modern infrastructure to form successful economic partnership with the city of Shanghai. The Chamber of Commerce president mentioned the view to further increasing the level of trade and commercial complementarity and investment attractiveness between our country and the city of Shanghai. Let's listen now to the speech of the head of state, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Margeli, who first welcomed the participant to the Djibouti Free Zone Forum. Here are the words of the head of state.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to this Djibouti Free Trade Zone Forum. Our gathering today is a testament to the enduring bond between China and Djibouti, a bond woven through centuries of infrastructure, of maritime trade along the ancient Silk Road. I am pleased that the government of China has decided to elevate our partnership to a global strategic partnership. I am also pleased to see that the bond between our countries has blossomed into a vibrant partnership strengthened by strategic investments in Djibouti infrastructure. These investments are not just brick and mortar. They represent a framework of trust and shared vision to the future. When we speak of investment in the cause of development, infrastructure is the cornerstone. It is the backbone upon which economies grow and societies prosper. Djibouti, strategically positioned at the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and Africa, has embraced its destiny with determination and foresight. We have embarked on a journey of change and reform, crafting a sustainable economy that will propel us to become the regional epicenter of trade. To attract and sustain the long-term investment, we have created a transparent business environment with our free zone.
The President of the Republic went on to say we have established a solid legal base offering tax and non-tax incentives that reduce barriers and improve returns for foreign investors.
We have established a strong legal foundation offering fiscal and non-fiscal incentives that reduce barriers and enhance returns of foreign investors. Our commitment to international standards is unwavering. The Djibouti International Free Trade Zone, a shining example of the Belt and Road Initiative, empowers companies from around the world to pre-position their goods significantly, reducing delivery times and costs. It offers access to key markets like the Comesa region, a vibrant market of over 500 million consumers. We recognize that infrastructure development is not just about physical structures. It is about empowering our people. We have invested in education and skills training, ensuring that Djiboutians have the tools they need to thrive in the economy of tomorrow. Every step in the structured development value chain creates jobs, supports small businesses, and impacts valuable skills. I am confident that the forum will yield tangible results, fostering economic cooperation between Djibouti and China. Once again, I welcome you all and look forward to a successful and fruitful forum. Let us work together to build a brighter future to all. I thank you. Welcome.
We're still in China, where Djibouti's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, and his colleague in charge of the Economy and Finance, Mr. Ilyas Musa Dawali, took part in the 90th Ministerial Conference of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation early today. The Beijing Guest Palace today hosted the 90th Ministerial Conference of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation. The purpose of the conference was to set the agenda for the presidential conference scheduled for September 5th and 6th, the African summit attended by outside players and which also meets regularly in the Tokyo International Conference on African Development, which has also met 8 times since its launch. The 90th FOCAC will have a slightly different structure to previous ones, as it will be organized around thematic committees co-chaired by China and an African country. On the sidelines of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, Mr. Ilyas Musa Dawali, Minister of Economy and Finance in charge of industry, led a Djiboutian delegation on a visit to the headquarters of the People's Bank of China in Beijing on September 4th, 2023. During the visit, Mr. Dawali held fruitful discussion with Mr. Chen Geng, Vice Governor of the People's Bank of China, as well as with the heads of the International Payments and Settlements and Cross-Border Interbank Payment System divisions. Discussions focused on the planning of the offshore yuan settlement center proposed by the Djiboutian government. Both parties expressed their willingness to strengthen their cooperation by establishing close links between China International Payment System and Silk Road International Bank. This collaboration aims to accelerate the implementation of the CIPS direct participation project, thus facilitating the promotion of the Chinese yuan in Djibouti and the East African region. It should be recalled that CIPS, established in 2015, is a cross-border interbank payment system offering clearing and settlement services for yuan transaction, strengthening trade between China and its international partners. This visit testifies to Djibouti's commitment to asserting itself as a key player in economic and financial exchanges with China and to promoting the use of the yuan in the region, as well as making Djibouti a regional financial center in line with the President of the Republic's desire to encourage the economic diversification of our country. In Djibouti now, the capital, the Prime Minister, acting head of government, His Excellency Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, received a courtesy visit from the new FAO representative, Monsieur Yarko Badohu, in the Primatur's VIP lounge. Faced with an agriculture that depends on nature, the discussion focused essentially on revitalization orientation in order to combine efforts to play a decisive role in the diversification of activities, both in livestock and in formalizing energy solutions to improve fishing as well as irrigation using well water. In addition to the above-mentioned points, the Prime Minister welcomed the new representative and expressed the government's willingness to support efforts to ensure that the Djiboutian population benefits from programs designed to ensure long-term food security. Mr. Nyarko Badohu, the FAO representation, joins the organization's Djibouti office with over 3 decades experience in various regions of Africa and the Middle East and expertise in agricultural development to respond to the emergencies and manage field operation. Still in Djibouti, the President of the National Assembly, His Excellency Mr. Dileita Mohamed Dileita, accompanied by the Ambassador of Djibouti to the United Arab Emirates and the Djiboutian Parliamentary delegation, His Excellency Musa Mohamed Ahmed, continues the second day of his visit to this sister country. The first stop was a visit to the Sheikh Zayed Al Nahyan Grand Mosque, followed by the headquarters of the Emirati Red Crescent, where the director of this charitable institution outlined its contribution throughout the world and in particular in the Republic of Djibouti, where development projects have been financed. The tour then moved on the headquarters of the Emirati Federal National Majlis. His Excellency Delete Mohammed Delete was warmly welcomed by his counterpart, His Excellency Sakar Rabaj, President of the Majlis. Discussion focused on ways and means of deepening the fraternal relations between the two brotherly countries, and above all to work towards strengthening relations of friendship, exchange and cooperation between the two sister parliamentary institutions, the National Assembly of the Republic of Djibouti and the Emirati Federal National Majlis. Overall, more than 4,000 pupils from all educational backgrounds returned to school on Monday, 2nd and 3rd September in the Obokh region. Teachers, school principals and head teachers were at their post to welcome these pupils. All the conditions were in place to welcome these pupils in a climate conducive to teaching and learning. Furthermore, in a bid to bring education closer to remote communities, MENFOP has undertaken a number of initiatives, including the construction of a new school in Bisiduru and an extension to the school infrastructure in Wadi to accommodate the sixth graders as part of the integrated rural school. The Wadi Fundamental School has now been opened to welcome sixth graders from the Ilisola, Rure and Baduita schools. To ensure a smooth start to the new school year, a delegation led by the prefect of the region and the vice president of the regional council toured the schools and the education establishment as usual. The new school year in Dikhil now, in Dikhil, the Dikhil region enjoyed a resounding success under the supervision of Mr. Hassan Abdi Roble, prefect of the region of Dikhil, Mr. Mad Hussein Ahmed, president of the regional council, and the head of the education department, Inspector Hafid Mohammed. All of the region's educational players mobilized to welcome the students with enthusiasm and dedication. The more than 6,600 pupils in basic education were back in school, probably welcomed by 250 teachers in the 28 schools in the Dikhil region. Similarly, there were more than the 230 middle school teachers welcomed their pupils from grade 6 to 9 in the middle school of the capital and the 3 sub-prefectures. The necessary hygienic equipment and school supplies were supplied to all schools by MENFOP to ensure optimal conditions for pupils and educational staff. Also, as usual, the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training has taken charge of the school canteen from the first day of the new school year, as well as school transport to ensure that all pupils can benefit from healthy food and access to school facilities. Following the example of the other regions in our country's capital, the start of this new school year for secondary school pupils took place on Tuesday, September 3, the 3rd, on all secondary schools in the Ali Sebieh region. Early in the morning, a delegation led by the region's acting prefect, Mrs. Saida Wabari, and including the president of the regional council, Mr. Shamarki Hassan Alale, members of the region's parliament, the regional inspector, and law enforcement officials toured the secondary school to ensure that the new school year was running smoothly. A total of more than 1,900 pupils were welcomed in all the high schools in the Asajog region, notably in Ali Adde, Holhol, Dazbio, and Gubeto. It is worth noting that the teachers were all present at their post and welcomed the pupils in an atmosphere marked by joy and reunion. The heads of the school took the necessary steps to ensure that the students were welcomed in a pleasant environment. The members of the delegation wished the teachers a successful start to this new school year 2024-2025. The start of this primary new school year went smoothly in Arta region, same as the five other regions. Pupils returned to school in a friendly atmosphere. All teachers are present at their respective posts. A delegation comprising the prefect, Mr. Hassan Dabali Ahmed, the president of the Arta Regional Council, Mr. Ilmi Bouh, and Menfop officials headed by Mr. Hassan Ali, the regional inspector, toured the region schools and noted the smooth start of this new school year. In a bid to bring education closer to remote communities, Menfop has undertaken a number of initiatives, including the construction of a new school and an extension to school infrastructure to accommodate the pupils. As part of the fundamental school has now been opened to sixth graders. Under the aegis of the Ministry of Youth and Culture, the Sagalu Youth Association organized the final of the tournament between the Sagalu and Itika teams on the afternoon of Saturday, August 31st, 2024. The match took place in a friendly, cool atmosphere in the presence of numerous local personalities. Among the guests of honor were Mr. Abdul Qadir Omar Maki, President of the Tajur Regional Council, Mr. Suleiman Hamad Abdi, Regional Director of MGC, as well as the regional elected officials. The match, marked by exceptional intensity, ended in a draw at the end of the regulation time. It was in the penalty shootout that the Sagalu team emerged victorious, thus becoming champions. The day ended in style with an evening of musical entertainment under balmy skies. Our star artists Abaizid Ali, Harboui, and Saeed Warsha took the stage, creating a festive and convivial atmosphere. The evening was a time for sharing, exchanging, and strengthening community ties. It was an opportunity to celebrate the end of summer activities in style while showcasing local talent and offering the population a chance to gather around a culture. The award ceremony then rewarded the various winners of the tournament to the applause of the crowd. For the international news, thousands of Palestinians, including patients, were forced to leave their shelters around the main hospital in central Gaza, following an evacuation order issued by the Israeli army for the areas surrounding the facility. Israeli evacuation orders now cover around 84% of Gaza territory, according to the United Nations. The UN estimates that around 90% of Gaza's 2.3 million inhabitants have been forced to leave their homes. Hundreds of thousands have gathered in overcrowded camps along the coast where public services are scarce or non-existent. Mentioned on the title as part of Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's visit to Turkey, the two countries are expected to sign agreements in various fields from defense to energy, while the aim is to increase the volume of trade between the two countries to more than 15 billion. The current state of trade relations between the two countries and measures to develop them, as well as Israel's attack on Gaza, will be on the agenda. During the visit, a meeting of the Turkish-Egyptian High-Level Strategic Cooperation Council will be held in Turkish capital Ankara under the co-chairmanship of Recep Tayyip Erdogan and el-Sisi. Some 20 agreements are expected to be signed in the fields of defense, energy, tourism, health, education, and culture. This is it for this news of tonight. Thanks for watching us. Stay tuned with us on RTT.